So we just had under 200 cars out here for our Steeda breakfast, burritos, and burnouts as we're waiting for more police cars because we have a police escort going up to SGMP today for a full day of racing. Beautiful weather. It's a little hotter than we had hoped, but we got some newfound horsepower thanks to GSC camshafts, Lund Racing tuning, Boschma with his throttle body adapter, and that Cobra Jet intake manifold. And for good measure, we got the guys from HP Tuners here at the track at Steeda with us today as we go and try and set more records in the Steeda Silver Bullet. We got a whole army out here today. We got Riley trying to data log for Lund and HP Tuners who's out here. We are optimistic, but it's gonna be 33 tomorrow and it's 80 degrees outside right now, or close to it. We do have a little bit of a tailwind, so that should help, but the DA is already like 1,500 feet. So we are far from mine shaft weather. But all we can do is fire it up and make a pass. Let's go. Check engine light just came on. Behind me just oiled down the damn track. Alright, I got no clue what's going on here. I've got floor mats everywhere. This thing's driving like dog. Thank you, ma'am. We put a manual steering rack on the car and we lost all of our drive modes, which means no drag mode, no line lock. So we kind of had to pull in the burnout box, whack the gas, and just roll through. And we didn't want to hold the brake because we found when the car was stock, it would slow the car down because the brakes would start to drag. So the 60-foot stunk. It absolutely spun the tires. I actually just kind of lightly got off it, but stayed in it. So it was a 1:59 short time. Short time's off by a 1/10 and a half. Our record's at 10:26. We went at 10:27. So if we drop that 2/10 right there, that put us in the 10.0 range. I was thinking it was going to go 10.06. We'll see, but we'll get back. We'll cool the car off. It's 195 degrees. Let's go from there. There's my wife, Chelsea. So we've been waiting in the staging lane for like 2.5 hours.
I think almost 3.
And we're trying to make it pass. The DA is right under 2,000 feet. It's about 83 degrees outside. We do have a tailwind, but this is not the weather to be running 9s. This time, good burnout, forget the back brakes, basically launch it off idle. We just need to go A to B, reset the record, get this thing in the teens, and wait till the end of the month for 9s. So. Wouldn't even do a burnout. It went first, second, third, second, first in the burnout box. Thank you, ma'am. All right, I think we're done. That was terrible. So for some reason with this car, we take a step forward, we always come right back. It's a learning process. It's part of trying to do things other people aren't doing or not everybody's doing, is push the envelope. How far can we get this thing to go? Naturally aspirate on motor. As we were lining up to make the first hit out there on Saturday, we knew we had good horsepower, but we knew the weather was really hot. We leave, we get about 10 feet out, the car gets in a tire spin, I just stay in it. We run out the back door, run to 1027, 136 and change. So only 1/100th off of our record, but it did go faster. And the 60 foot was off by over 1/10 of a second. So we get back in the pits, the car's kind of running like poop, and we use the HP tuners. Thankfully, Tony was in the area from HP tuners. We had our tech Damien there and Riley going over the keyboards. And what we found was it threw a bunch of codes again. This time, it threw one for the throttle body. That's weird. We didn't mess with anything with the throttle body. So when we looked at it in the pits, we found with the adapter plate and our larger throttle bodies, we had a hood clearance issue. And it actually cracked the housing on top of the throttle body. Now, we washed the car the morning of the car show. Did water get in there? Possibly. It was enough to throw the code on both passes we had made. But we tried to clear it, did a cam reset, crank relearn, could not get that code away. For the second pass, we went out there, it did the same thing. Went 10 feet, spun the tire, check engine lights were on. But going back and looking at the data, we have to obviously fix the throttle body issue. Now, a lot of times when we take these cars to the track, we're pushing them, right? We're trying to set records. So we'll pull all the plugs, we'll do a leak down on the motor, make sure everything is fine. Everything seems pretty happy with it. But going back, and if you look at the slow-mo video that the man behind the camera found this morning, you'll see a fluid possibly develop underneath the front of the car. Now, was that water from washing it? Was it possibly a little brake fluid? We're not sure. That's gonna be our next step, to go through the car, see what that fluid was. But if you watch, as soon as the tire drives through that, that is exactly where we're going to tire spin on both the passes. It's good to see because this car doesn't have a problem getting traction. In fact, we have our reputation on suspension for providing optimal traction, whether you're on the street, the road course, or the drag strip. Seeing that was a little bit of a breath of fresh air. But we know that even at 2,000 feet DA, this thing was gonna go into the teens, maybe the O's. I definitely don't think it was the weather to try to get this thing into the 9s. We have another test and tune session. I sound like a broken record, coming up at the end of the month. So we're gonna go through this, get that throttle body fixed, get the hood trimmed, probably put on a set of our Steeda adjustable motor mounts, which, shocker, we actually don't have on this car. So Steeda motor mounts, you can lower the motor 3/4 of an inch, give us plenty of hood clearance. Go through, make sure we don't have any leaks, and we'll get out there and give it another chance to try to go in the 9s, naturally aspirated. Now, one good thing that came out from us testing this past weekend is our Steeda water pump modification. What we did on the 2018, when we were out there making laps after laps and lunge revising the tune, is we run an electric water pump. Now, what that allows us to do is with key on, it's gonna circulate water. Now we have a thermostat, so old school Fox body tricks. You take your factory thermostat, you drill a couple holes in it. We're trying to move water through the coolant system. So that actually worked out outstanding. I mentioned it was 83 degrees outside. We were able to, in about 12 minutes, get this car from 200-degree engine temps all the way down to 140 degrees. So by cycling on the CSR water pump, we're able to move water through the system. We place a couple fans in front of it. When we get back to the pits, we're constantly moving air through it, and we're able to cool down the motor because we can't increase the boost, we can't increase the nitrous, so we're dependent on ambient temp and engine temp. So that worked out really good. I was happy the team was able to get that taken care of on Friday. Unlike the manual steering rack, which causes all sorts of issues, no drive mode, no line lock, so we're gonna address that. We were already talking to HP tuners on a workaround. If not, the 19 pounds, might throw the stock rack back in the car so we can actually go out there and make laps the way we're supposed to, using the line lock, keeping the heat out of the braking system, and trying to get that record. So hopefully the next time you see us on video with this car behind me, I'll be screaming and yelling, and we'll not only reset the record, but hopefully go in the 9s. So hit like, subscribe, follow us on all of our socials, and remember, Steeda, where speed matters.